can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Eevee and make it look easy.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so today's video, I'm gonna be talking about Daredevil, number 10 by Chip Zdarsky and Marco Checchetto. Now, when last we left off with Daredevil, he was up to his elbows in Avengers. There was no shortage of Avengers coming to try and put this man in the gulag. Now, to be fair, Matt has gone through a lot. He has been through probably more than most superheroes typically go through in the course of a 24-hour stretch. This man literally just lost his mentor, as well as lost his best friend in the whole world, and he's also watching all of his efforts to try to break the mold, to become a different kind of superhero, one that does not just throw criminals in prison, but gives them a chance to try and rehabilitate themselves and come back as something better. And right now, the Stromwinds, they've pretty much undone that. They have dropped multiple resid bombs on the secret island that the Fist call home, the Fist being Daredevil's new superhero squad that's kind of along the same lines as the Thunderbolts. And for those unfamiliar, resid is basically a chemical that makes people violent regardless of what they're normally like. This was something that goes back to the previous volume of Chip Zdarsky and Marco Checchetto's Daredevil, where he discovered that the criminal justice system was using resid on all of its criminal inmates so that when they were released from prison, they would still be violent offenders and wind up right back in jail. Well, right now, that is why all hell is breaking loose on the island of the Fist. And what makes this even crazier is that not only are the Avengers bearing down on Daredevil, especially due to the fact that Elektra has been framed for having killed the president, it also just so happens that Daredevil is gonna have to face off with someone who is the only Avenger that he really trusts, and that's Spider-Man. And if you're wondering why it's Spider-Man, because as of late, Daredevil and Spider-Man have not just necessarily been hanging out a whole lot. They've both got things going on in their different orbits. But the reason why I say this is because over the course of Chip Zdarsky's run on Daredevil, he has had the two characters interact with each other at least every here or there. We can go back to the previous volume of Daredevil during Daredevil number 5, where shortly after Matt Murdock had realized that he had killed a man during an attempt to stop a robbery, Spider-Man was one of the Avengers who approached him and didn't necessarily try to fight him, but tried to talk some sense into him. And while the two didn't necessarily see eye to eye, they didn't get into a fight over the whole matter. And Spider-Man, even when Daredevil kind of seemingly looked as though he was about to just give up and just turn himself in, Spider-Man gave him an opportunity to try and set things right, because Spider-Man gets it. He's a street level hero just like Daredevil is. He knows the score, and he knows sometimes bad things happen. So he let Daredevil off the hook. Daredevil, who at the time, no one knows his secret identity anymore, thanks to the Charles Soule run undoing that, using the Purple Children's power to pretty much tell everyone to forget who Daredevil was, that Daredevil was really Matt Murdock. So him giving up his secret identity, something that he had told very few people about since the Purple Children had undid Matt Murdock's identity being revealed to the public during the Mark Waid run, Spider-Man refuses to see who he really is as a show of respect to Daredevil. And at the beginning of this new volume under Chip Zdarsky and Marco Checchetto, Daredevil does the same thing yet again. Daredevil has revealed his secret identity to Spider-Man in the first issue of this new run, even breaking down to Spider-Man that the quotey fingers Matt Murdock that everyone thinks is dead was actually his twin brother Mike, who was not even really his twin brother. He was a fabrication of a past identity that Matt used to use to throw people off the scent that he was really Daredevil. And that's a whole other can of worms there. I'll try and remember to put a link up here for a video you can go see to learn more about that. But the whole deal here is that Matt trusts Spider-Man, I would dare say unconditionally. So the idea that Spider-Man is there right now with the Avengers trying to take him down is something that Matt is having a hard time dealing with, especially considering everything he just lost. And to make things even crazier, Spider-Man, he himself does not want to hurt Daredevil. He just wants to stop him. And you can see this in this issue. Spider-Man is struggling to try to bring Matt in without doing it the hard way. He's trying to talk him down. He's trying to convince him that he is not going about this the right way, that they can go somewhere and they can talk this whole thing over and try and figure out how to undo the whole mess. The problem is that Daredevil is too far gone. He is in too deep right now to just turn his back on what he's done. Otherwise, all of this would have been for nothing. And to show you just how far Matt is willing to go just to make everything that he has done worth it, he's even willing to resort to trickery to fool Spider-Man into thinking that he is giving up when he actually isn't. This is one of those situations that's really heartbreaking because you know deep down, and Matt's even telling us this, that he doesn't want to hurt Spider-Man, that he doesn't want to be on Spider-Man's bad side, but he also has to recognize that Spider-Man is not seeing the same things that Daredevil has been seeing. And that's funny to say considering Daredevil is blind, but yeah, I mean, on a figurative level, what Daredevil has seen as of late. Spider-Man, as he points out, while he is the guy who can save the day, he's not the guy who's gonna ask the pertinent questions. He's just gonna keep the system going exactly as it is. And there's definitely a lot of commentary here about the criminal justice system and vigilantism. And if you have not been keeping up with Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, that's kind of been an overarching theme of his entire run, both Volume 6 and this current Volume 7 run on the entire series. Everything has gone back to, is it right for vigilantes to beat up criminals, put them in jail, and continue going out and doing what they do, despite the fact that just like the criminals they put away, they're breaking the law. And even once you go past that layer of it, it comes down to, what is the difference between a vigilante and a criminal? Yeah, one does good, one does evil, but you're both breaking the law. Why can't one help the other? Why can't the heroes actually do something to rehabilitate the super criminals that they put away? Wouldn't the world be a better place if instead of just punching the shit out of them and then throwing them in prison, why don't we ask the question, why are you doing what you're doing? Maybe there's something that can be changed to fix the problem. Maybe there's something that can be done to make that person a better version of themselves. That was what the whole point of Daredevil even joining the Fist in the first place was. He wanted to help others, all the criminals that he took under his wing, whether it was Bullet or Fancy Dan or Agony or even Speed Demon or Stiltman, Stegron, any of them. What he wanted to do was help them become better. Yeah, sure, he wanted them to become better so that they could help him take down the Hand. But at the end of the day, he still wanted what was best for them. So when we get to the end of this and we see that Daredevil has broken down and has destroyed the control collar, keeping his new nemesis, or rather old nemesis that was retconned to his history, Goldie, the guy who has been secretly manipulating every major event in Daredevil's life since the beginning, this is how far he's willing to go, that he has destroyed Goldie's control collar, allowing Goldie to have ultimate influence over Daredevil's life. And it seems like everything has come tumbling down around Matt, both figuratively and literally in this, because Goldie does cause an avalanche, just throwing a simple rock, and the events of that just metastasizing immediately into an entire avalanche that pretty much forces the Avengers to cut and run. And even then, even with the whole avalanche coming crashing down around them, Spider-Man still wants to save Daredevil. This whole issue is very emotionally charged. If you are a person who is either very closely connected to or dialed in to either of these characters or even both of these characters, this one hits. It hits hard, and especially when you get the ambiguous ending where Daredevil is left behind on the island because he's trying to make sure that he holds on to the Book of the Fist, which is supposed to have all the secrets that they need to defeat the Hand. We see that Daredevil seemingly gets caught up in the avalanche. Now, technically, there have been some reveals and some solicits that Chip Zdarsky is going to, quotey fingers, kill Daredevil before this is all over. We have 4 issues left, and there are some hints that Daredevil is going to go to hell, and face his demons or whatever. But once again, we have seen Daredevil quotey fingers die before, and it's always just been the death of an idea, never the death of Daredevil himself, or as a person, as Matt Murdock, or whatever. But I think in this case, Chip might actually be literal in this, and we got 4 more issues before this is all said and done, and the Chip Zdarsky run is over. But right now, Chip has broken Daredevil down to his most base parts, taken away his religion, taken away his faith, taken away his best friend, and ultimately taken away Elektra from him because she has been captured by the Avengers. But anyways, that's everything I want to talk about with Daredevil number 10. If you enjoyed this video, do the YouTube thing, like, share, comment, subscribe, and make sure to tap that notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any of the videos I put out. We're still trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before the year is out, so if you haven't done so already, become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Until next time, let me know what you thought about Daredevil number 10. Keep it plus ultra and sound off in the comments.